All right, we are recording. So, all right. Here. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the HBO miniseries Chernobyl. If you haven't seen it, you've at least heard of it. It's a great show and shows the horrors that can follow from a meltdown of a nuclear power plant. I'm also sure that you all think of Chernobyl when you hear of a nuclear power plant, but they can be very helpful when properly built and maintained. I did a project in high school for biology pertaining to nuclear power plants and their effects. I also find their process interesting on how they actually create power. It makes me wonder who thought of it in the first place and how crazy it must have seemed at first. We all use power every day to live our lives. In order to take this class, for example, we're using power, and that power comes at a cost. By the end of this presentation, I'm hoping to quell some worries that you may have from the prospect of using nuclear energy while also providing the benefits that can come with them, with the hope that you may sign a petition and show some support. Chernobyl. Chernobyl is a great example of a nuclear meltdown because it is so popular that practically everybody knows about it. Chernobyl melted down due to negligence regarding the construction of the plant. One major reason Chernobyl melted down was a fundamental fault in its construction. The Russians built this reactor very fast and cheap due to the pressures of the Cold War. And because of this, they left a large fault in this design. In an article by PBS from Richard Rhodes, he states that the reactors were built with a faulty instability inside of it. Which basically means that when coolant stopped running, it would have a catastrophic failure. If we were to build more power plants now, we already know this issue and can very easily avoid it by placing proper restrictions on the building material of a nuclear power plant. Another reason Chernobyl melted down was due to negligence in the operation of the plant, another very easily avoidable incident. In an article by Britannica, it's explained that by a faulty test that was done by the researchers, they started a test that basically let all the power into the reactor while pulling all the control rods out of the reactor, which made it cause a catastrophic failure, and the lid of the reactor blew off, and everybody knows the rest of the story. With proper regulations on how the plants are operated, while also having controls that completely negate the option of even letting such a big mistake of the operation happen, this would actually be impossible to happen again. The Chernobyl incident, while very tragic, was completely avoidable and should not be something to be concerned about. Repeating again if more plants are to be built. I also think it's important to talk about the benefits that can come from nuclear power plants. Nuclear power plants can be very beneficial to our society if we were to use them, due to the large amounts of power that are being come out, while also being very clean compared to what we mostly rely on, such as coal and fossil fuels. As a starter, nuclear energy is the most efficient form of energy we have discovered so far. In an article by energy.gov in the Office of Nuclear Energy, they state that nuclear power plants are producing maximum power more than 92% of the year, which makes them 2 times more efficient than natural gas and coal, and 3 times more than wind and solar. With such a high output of energy, we can very easily negate power problems across the US. Based on the capacity factors shown in this presentation, or in this slide, you can also see the US Department of Energy also states that a nuclear power plant typically produces 1 gigawatt of energy. If we were to match that with coal plants, we would need about 2 coal plants in order to match that energy, or 4 renewable plants in order to match that energy as well. Which is basically, it just shows that nuclear power plants kind of just blow every competition out of the water when it comes to producing power. When it comes to air pollution as well, it's kind of a no-brainer that nuclear power plants are the best for clean emissions. When it comes to air pollution, nuclear energy is on top, especially compared to fossil fuels. In an article by the World Nuclear Association, It's stated that the air pollution created by fossil fuels caused about 8.7 million deaths per year. Nuclear energy, on the other hand, has only had two major accidents where a large amount of radiation was emitted and has resulted in just a total of 46 deaths, just a fraction of the other number that was caused by air pollution from fossil fuels. When it comes to the output of waste, in which all energy forms have waste, nuclear has a very good method of disposing and containing it. Due to how dense nuclear fuel is, very little of it is needed to output huge amounts of electricity. When it comes to the waste as well, 90% of it is low-level waste, like clothes and tools, with only 1% of radioactivity from waste. And the high-level waste, which accounts for 95% of total radioactivity, is just 3% in total waste. In another article by the Nuclear Association, they state when it comes to the waste produced to supply a person with energy for a year, the volume of waste would be about the size of a brick, with only 5 grams of this amount being high-level waste, around the same weight as a sheet of paper. When we remember as well how heavy nuclear waste is, that's a very minuscule amount. There are also tons of effective options for getting rid of this waste, whether it's in wet or dry facilities, or even recycling this waste to be used again in another nuclear reactor to power it. Despite misconceptions, nuclear energy is extremely clean and safe, while also being the most efficient form of energy to date. I'm hoping this may have lessened your worries about the use of nuclear energy across the US and helped you see how clean and efficient it truly is to use. It seems like a no-brainer that we start using nuclear energy, as it's the most efficient, and with such large waves of climate crisis on our hands, we need to find an alternative to our energy usage. And because of this, I'm hoping I may have convinced you to sign a petition to show your support for nuclear energy as the future of energy. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Matt. So I guess that has Ethan going next.
Okay. I actually didn't make visual aid, so is that okay?
It was a requirement though, but it's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. In that case, you don't need to. Matt doesn't need to give you host responsibility. You can just go ahead.
I still have to record, right?
No, you don't have to make the host because you don't have visual aids, right?
I didn't have visual aids.
Did you say you did not have visual aids?
I don't.
I'm recording the meeting for you. That's what you asked, right?
It's okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to make him the host for the meeting. So let's know when you're ready, Ethan.
Okay, so I have to record her now.
No, you don't have to. He's recording it for you.
Okay, I was just making sure. Let's see. All right. Throughout my years in high school, I've watched the Purdue Glee Club perform many times. They are such a talented group and are such fun people to be around. And I really mean that. The Glee Club is a performing choir at Purdue University. I myself am not a part of the Glee Club, but I have seen them many times perform and I've researched them throughout my high school years. Since I live really close, my school would go and watch the Glee Club, and I've actually performed a few times with the Glee Club myself. So I think that joining the Glee Club would be a very great thing to do. Not only will joining the Glee Club offer a bunch of friends, it will also offer a bunch of scholarships to help pay your student tuition. So first, I would like to talk about the history of the Glee Club. The Glee Club was founded in 1893 by a person named Cyrus Dudswall. And with only 11 people, the Purdue's music wasn't very big, and they had just started developing in 1893. So in 1910, the Glee Club composed their first song called Hail Purdue. This is very crucial for the Glee Club because this is their first song they ever composed. Now, in 1920s and 1930s, new directors came along, and that also added more people to come in, so it kind of helped grow the Glee Club a little bit more. And from 1893, when they first developed, all the way till the 1930s, they still hadn't had a proper place to rehearse. So they finally got one at the top of University Hall. And then later in 2014, they were actually given a proper building, a whole building to themselves to rehearse. So now that we looked into the history of the Glee Club, I'd like to talk about the benefits of why you should join the Glee Club. So the Glee Club offers many benefits. Although it is an audition club, there's still plenty of opportunity to join. Every year, they offer hundreds of thousands of scholarships to the members of the Glee Club. I think some money would be helpful for paying student loans. They also go on trips pretty often, like at least once a month. They're going out of state, out of the US. They've traveled to many different places. They've traveled to Europe, they've traveled to South Africa, and they've even traveled to like China. So all these places are very cool, and I would like to visit them as well someday, hopefully. So after the benefits, I hope you consider joining the Glee Club. And not only will you get a bunch of friends from joining the Glee Club, it would also help pay for college with the scholarships they offer. The Glee Club is not only going to pay for scholarships, but it's also a very fun and open environment for you to be yourself and kind of welcome you at Purdue. I still think back on the memories I made when I was in high school, when I would go watch and perform with the Glee Club. Considering all that, I hope you consider joining the Glee Club. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ethan. That was good. Can we have a final presenter? This, I'm guessing that's Eugene. Let me know if I pronounced your name incorrectly. What's your first name?
She,
Oh, I always
Yeah.
refer. Sorry about that. So yeah, please. Do you have visual aids to share? Do you have any visual aids?
yeah,
All right. So
Yeah.
Matt, our host, so that she can share her screen with us.
so I don't need to record the video, right?
It's already recording anyway, so you just go ahead and present.
Okay, thank you. So today I'm going to talk about something that has had a tremendous positive impact on my life. So, going to the gym frequently. So let me begin with a powerful story. So, 3 years ago, I was a very thin girl who used to like struggle with low energy, stress, and self-confidence. So, some people at that time might make fun of me, like they would say, "Oh, why you look so skeleton?" or "You should eat more meat or get more protein." So I know they mean to be kind, but I just really don't like these words. So at that time, I decided to step into the gym and take control of myself. So the result was astonishing. I became more energized, happier, and gained the confidence that I never knew I had. So now I'm inspiring others to make the same change. So, well, some people might think that, well, going to the gym frequently or do some exercises every week is just for looking good, but the truth is not that simple. Well, it's about feeling great. So, so like regular gym attendance has a multitude of benefits. So an article from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, which posted on the December 15, 2021, states several benefits. So for instance, improve physical health. So you can boost your cardiovascular fitness, strengthen muscle, and maintain a healthy weight, and enhance mental well-being. So of course, you can reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. due to we're all college students, so we really need that. And also you can improve like cognitive function. And third one is increased energy. So enjoy high energy levels throughout the day, leading to increased productivity. And also finally, boosted self-confidence. So achieve your fitness goals and feel more confident in every aspect of the life. So at that time, some people might say, well, I do want to go to the gym a lot, but there are some challenges that I have to overcome first. So admittedly, well, let's overcome them first together. Like, some people might see that, well, I'm lack of time. So you really don't need that much hours at the gym. So only 30 minutes, you can, several times a week, you can make a huge difference. And some people might think that, well, I can go to the gym at the first time, several times, but later I'm just lack of motivation. So my recommendation is that you can go find a gym buddy and take classes to keep each other accountable and motivated. And finally, people might say that, well, I got gym intimidation. Well, we all start somewhere. Like, remember everyone at the gym was a beginner once. People are generally supportive and focus on their own workouts. So for me, when I was first at the gym, well, I didn't know how to use this equipment as well. So I started go to asking about my coach. So let's explore the fitness in the scientific aspect. So a journal from National Library of Medicine named Health Benefits of Exercise, which published in July 8th, 2018, states that some research demonstrates that improvements in exercise test performance and VO2 max are associated with better survival rates and can be a more accurate predictor of mortality in men than other traditional risk factors for cardiovascular disease. So it means that the improvements in exercise test performance and VO2 max are linked to higher survival rates. And the other research also emphasizes the significance of lifelong aerobic exercises for maintaining a high level of cardiovascular fitness and preventing the typical age-related decline in CRFs seen in secondary individuals. So it highlights that the regular aerobic exercises throughout the person's life is crucial for achieving and sustaining good cardiovascular life. So are you ready to take change of your life? I encourage each of you to take the first step towards a healthier, happier you. So sorry about that. So we'll go to the gym frequently, even a few days a week, and experience the incredible transformation firsthand. So remember, it's never too late to prioritize your health and well-being. Embrace the gym life, and I promise you won't regret it. Together, let's create a community of health, happy individuals supporting each other along the way. Thank you.
Great, thank you, That was good. Okay, now that we're done, you can stop sharing your screen.